Yes. Hi, friend.
Happy Saturday.
It's Saturday. I said tonight, but it's really today for us. But tonight for some.
It is?
For our guest, it's tonight.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to go with that. Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Welcome in. So excited to see
Hello,
everybody.
Happy Sign. Good
Happy
to see
Sign.
you.
Hi.
Like how we get
Welcome
to see Happy
in.
Time when we stream on Saturdays.
I know.
It's always
It's
nice.
very exciting. It's one of the things that we like about our Saturday streams is we get to see some of our friends that we don't get to see on late at night,
Right.
Eastern time.
It's tonight for our guests, for Joanna, for Happy Sign.
Normally, all those people are sleeping when we stream because
It's
it makes sense for them
usually
to
about
do
3 or 4 in the morning. Yeah.
correct. Thank you so much, Smalls, for that gift sub to our wonderful guest today, ScottWatsonMusic. That's much, much appreciated.
Thank you.
Um,
And good to see you all. If I haven't said hi to you in chat.
Natural sunlight.
Yes. It's not very pirate-like, but it is island-like.
Yeah.
So it works for island streams.
Yeah.
You do a good job to show up when you do, Joanna.
Yes,
It's quite remarkable.
it is very, very much so. Remarkableness. We have a new emote coming soon to all of you that will help in cases where I am not great for saying the words.
Words.
Yep. Oh, Mom's going to eat lunch on the coast.
Lunch on the coast? Wow. They must be
Yeah.
at the camper location.
Yeah. Must be.
Happy Sign's on the Diet Coke. Rox is on the coffee.
I am having a bocce ball.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Yep, I am. It's a beer. Hey, Barry Copeland Music.
Good to see you.
Pair of Blu-ray glasses. That's not right? Not Blu-ray. Blue light. Blue. What kind of glasses are they?
I don't know. I can't see them.
They're like the ones that you wear when you're on the computer.
Blue light?
Blue light glasses. A pair of blue
We'll go
light
with that.
glasses just fall on the ground.
Alcohol-free Prosecco.
Not Blu-ray. Those would be like a video that you watch on the
A Blu-ray,
TV.
right? That
TV.
technology that was,
That would be
like, I don't know if ever really made it.
that would be a really weird pair of glasses if you could like watch like a video like on Blu-ray with the glasses on.
That would be quite crazy.
Emster. Hello.
Sure. Hello.
Look,
How are
see,
you?
it's so lovely. Hi, friend. Welcome in. Blues Clues, Cleveland.
Hey,
Welcome
Cleveland.
in. Yeah,
everybody's
that's
filing
what
in
VR
today.
glasses are for. You get to watch Blu-ray videos.
Totally. So how was everybody's week?
Hope it was good.
Hope it was a good week.
It was weird not streaming on Thursday. We went grocery shopping. I lost my family in the grocery store because we don't know how to grocery store anymore.
It's true.
Yeah. I was waiting and Jason couldn't find me, so he just like left. And so I'm standing there waiting for him to come back, and he was just never did.
Nope. I found the kids. I figured they shouldn't be left alone for too much longer than they were.
Yeah.
I figured you'd find me.
Yeah, but I was standing there for a ridiculously long amount of time. Like in the prime position too. Like I could see the produce and all of the entire like turnarounds, like at the end caps. And so I'm like, okay, wherever they are, I'll be able to see them.
You didn't see me walk by?
No, I have no idea how you got past me.
I didn't see you. You didn't see me.
No.
Maybe something magical happened.
And then, so first I was like in the front of the store one. No. And then like I switched to the back of the store one. And I don't know what you guys did. Rox told me I should just start yelling Marco really loudly.
Get it done.
I should have, but at the same time, my inner, like my introvertness was like, oh my goodness, I might actually know some of these people. And then they would just hear me yelling, Marco. And then you guys would be like, We don't know her, and it wouldn't work because
We'd
you would
run
all
away.
just hide.
Right, we'd hide or run away.
Exactly. You would actually really hide. And therefore, I would really be alone.
We do have phones too.
I know, but I was like having an entire conversation in a place that you are, and you still didn't answer me, so it didn't work.
Text me, Marco. If you didn't want to bring attention to yourself.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, we went grocery shopping on Thursday. It was a fun family time. I'm starting to feel caught up from last weekend's craziness. I'm not sure about you, but I'm getting there. Yes, my IRL name is Marco. You all know now.
yeah, and our IRL last name is Polo. Yep, that is our IRL names.
Yep.
What would my IRL name if you were Marco Polo?
Well, would yours just be Polo?
Wait, who is there? Yeah, what would my first name be though? What goes with Polo as well?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Mrs. Polo. Water. My name would be Water.
Water Polo. YOLO Polo. That's a good one.
That's one of our kids.
I was gonna say Rolo, but
That's
YOLO.
the other kid.
YOLO makes a lot more sense.
We've got my name's Water, and then we also have Rolo and YOLO. Those are our children. Those are our IRL names.
I like these alternate universe names we have.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with that.
Yep. Yeah, those are the real things. You guys figured us out. So good.
I knew it would happen sometime.
Yep. It just happened. It's just too good.
Yep.
Yep. Names in the metaverse. And there's a banana duck behind you. And Wilbur. You did get a new Wilbur emote?
I did.
You did. This one. And there's also another new Wilbur emote that is coming into your stream. Yep, there it is. Also, there's a new Wilbur emote that will be coming as soon as Twitch decides that they want to let us have our...
I hope so. That one's called You Didn't.
You didn't.
You didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that we should probably jump in and chat with our wonderful, amazing guest today. What do you say? I say we, but it just means you go away.
I go away for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's a great idea.
All right, cool. All right, so everyone, help me in saying goodbye to Adjacent. Bye, Adjacent. And
Bye for now.
And after the leaves are all gone, then we'll say hi to our guest. 1, 2, 3, goodbye. I love you. See you later. Bye. Hello, Scott Watson Music. Welcome.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are.
Good time zone.
It's definitely evening here. It's definitely evening.
What time is it?
It's now 8:15 at night.
Okay, so not too late. Not too
Yeah, it's
late.
not too late. It's fine. I think we might leave here, go to the pub. I think this could be a good.
Ooh.
This could work well. This could
Yeah,
work well.
I mean, this is a good place to start your pre-pub. Like, I mean, it's 3
Well,
here.
I'm not as organised as you are. I didn't think beer. That would have been. Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, you could just like send a text. Like, I'm considering if I can like be okay with texting my child who's inside to bring me a refill. I've voted against it many times on this show, but the line is getting more and more like fuzzy, and I should just like.
As they get older, you have to get them trained. You know, for going out in the wide world to look after themselves and get jobs and things. So I think it's you're educating them ready for the big world.
Yeah. We so Home Depot is a hardware store, a giant box hardware store. And we were there and there weren't enough people to help us, so they were trying to recruit the 11-year-old to start working there. And so maybe she needs to start working at like the grocery store. And at the grocery store, you need to be able to like make runs to like go and grab a replacement for something. So maybe she has to like go and run and grab a replacement of a beer. And right now would be a great practice for that, you know?
Yep, I think that's a great idea. By the sounds of it, very good at hiding in the grocery store.
Yeah. So she'd be really good at like not doing the work, which,
Not doing the work, yeah.
yeah, which she likes, which she likes. So, Scott, can you tell me just a little bit about you? I know that we share a mod. Does he probably shows up just as like minimal to your stream as he does to ours. Sir Cressum, lovely human, not great mod.
Better mod than he is streamer. I mean, he's
It's true.
officially Twitch's worst streamer. That's and he has an emote to prove it as well.
He probably doesn't have the worst emotes though. I mean, one of our mods, lovely but really bad emotes. She's got a picture of like a taco with someone's face on it. It's just, it's bad. Yeah.
For those that maybe don't know, I know there's a lot of familiar names in the chat at the moment, but for those that maybe don't know Chris, we are joking. He is a superb streamer. He's a great guitarist, and he is a really really nice guy.
He really is.
But we do like to tease him a little bit.
Yeah, I truly enjoy Cressum, as I call him. I truly enjoy Cressum a lot, and he's right now drinking a Michelada with friends, and it sounds disgusting. And so I think that he has.
I don't even know what that is.
You take beer and then you put tomato juice with it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely
No.
not.
Oh, it's horrible.
What a waste of beer.
Yeah, beer and tomato juice. Like you could take the tomato juice and you could like add to it and make it into a really good Bloody Maria or Mary or anything. But why? Why put beer in there? Like any of those things.
I agree with adjacent. Such a waste.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a waste.
Maybe Scott wasn't joking after all. He definitely shouldn't be a cooking streamer. Like not a mixologist.
Nope.
And the funny thing is he actually does some like drinks on his late night stream. He'll like bring in like put next to him like some like tequila and different stuff and like mixes them on stream, which is so funny because he really
I've never seen this because his late night streams are like 2-3 o'clock in the morning for me, so I have never seen this. I've heard about it, I've never seen it.
Yeah. All right. So I know that we share a mod, and he's the one that kind of introduced you to me. And I know that Adjacent has spent some time in your channel, but I haven't gotten to spend too much time in your channel. So can you tell me a little bit about who Scott Watson is?
Sure, yeah. I'm Scottish. I'm pretty sure everybody worked that out by now. I live on the west of Scotland on a small island known as the Isle of Cumbria. So this seems a bit kind of, the Island Vibing Presents seems all a bit natural today. And we're about an hour from Glasgow, to give people a sort of rough idea of where we are. I play guitar, I sing, and we always joke over on my channel that possibly, apart from maybe Barry Copeland, I'm possibly the most Scottish person on Twitch. We have tartan, we have Scottish flags, we have haggis, whiskey, you name it, it's all there. So when we're live on Twitch, we like to do the Scottish thing quite a lot.
Lean in.
Yeah.
So how small is small?
How small is small? During the summer, we have about 1,400 people.
So landmass wise,
Landmass, the total circumference of the island is 10.5 miles, and it only has one town.
tiny.
And the town is only 1.5 miles long. So it's very small.
And do you get there by boat or bridge?
Yeah, we get there by boat. So there's a ferry, and it's 8 minutes from the mainland. So it's not very far. It's quite easy to get to.
Um, and so does that mean you have to get like all of your groceries like shipped over? Or do you go and get them? Like, what is
No,
your grocery shopping experience like?
it would be very difficult to hide in our grocery shop. I can't. If you could hide, it's not. You're not going to be hiding for long. Um, yeah, it's probably like a corner shop for most people. But I mean, it's so easy to get to the mainland. It's only 8 minutes in the ferry, so we can go to a proper supermarket if we need to. But yeah, I mean, you can get most things on the island. It's not. It's very well supplied.
So do you have to like, so sometimes um, we like to cook like, all right, tonight we're having Thai food and we're going to cook Thai food, and it calls for some weird ingredient that we have to like go and find because it's not going to be, do you have to like plan like, okay, the ferry's coming at this hour, we need to make sure that we get it? Is it like a whole
Yeah.
process?
Pre-planning is everything. You don't get to just make up, because the chance, if it's a strange ingredient, the chances of it being on the island are slim. Likewise, if you fancy takeaway, you only get it at a certain point. So takeaway generally isn't an option on a Tuesday night, for example, because nowhere's open, and the last ferry is about 8:30.
Will they ride the ferry over to give you your food, or do you have to like ride the ferry over to pick up food?
So we have takeaways on the island, but if you wanted, you could go over to the mainland and pick something up. Yeah.
Will they like go to the ferry terminal and you just like sit
No,
there and like wait for them? No,
no, you can phone it in and then go and pick it up, but that's about it.
no delivery.
All of I don't know. We have things like Deliveroo and Just Eat and things like that, which are all delivery services here in the UK. I don't know if you have them stateside,
Not
but
those
yeah,
ones,
we
but
not those ones, but similar, and they don't deliver to the island. Nobody delivers to the island. You have to go and get it yourself.
they're like, no, no, sorry.
Yeah. So, despite it being so close to the mainland, you would be as well being in the middle of the ocean sometimes because it's
So does your
Amazon just started doing next day delivery about 6 months ago, and that's the best thing ever.
it sounds like the best thing ever. Um,
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much to Joanna Park for that gift sub to Emster. Really appreciate that. Also, I want to say, is it like, do you have kids? Do they, if you do, or other children, is there a school on the island? Do they have to
There
go to
is.
the mainland?
Yep, there is. So we have. I do have two young boys. They stay down in England. But we have a school on the island. We have a primary school, which is an elementary school, I think, is how it
Yep.
would be worded. The young ones.
Yep.
So we have that. And then when they go to the secondary school, for the older ones, they have to go to the mainland. So when they get to about 13-year-old, they have to get the ferry every day over to the mainland to go to school. So it's a bit of an adventure for them.
That there's a Jason actually mentioned it in chat. There's a island here called Peaks Island in Portland, and it sounds similar, but it sounds like Peaks might be actually bigger than this island where you live. But it goes. There's an elementary school, a primary school on the island, but as soon as they get to those middle to upper grades, they have to start taking the ferry.
Short ferry ride, just like.
Yeah, and then hopping on the city bus to get to their school. So
Well,
it's
we're quite fortunate in that the town where you get the ferry from to come over to the island, that's where the school is. So they don't really have a lot of travelling to do once they get to the mainland. But they have a system, so if there's bad weather and the ferries are maybe not going to run, they're maybe going to go off because of the weather, then they have to get sent home early. So sometimes it works in their favour, and they miss a couple of days of school because they can't get there.
Have so for our kids, they actually it was really nice for them school wise when the pandemic was happening and they just did homeschool like through the school. But now that the pandemic is over, um, now that they're all back in school full time, now it's a pain because they don't have snow days because they can just do virtual school anytime that there's snow. Do you guys, has that been a thing over there? Has that happened at all? Like
They
that?
they did it during the pandemic, similar to yourselves. I don't think it's carrying on. I think they kind of stopped it now. Um,
Well, that's good.
and yeah, I mean, certainly I'm not aware of them doing it recently, but they certainly did it during the pandemic. There was a lot of homeschooling going on, which I don't think was particularly fun for the mums and dads, but I think the kids probably enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was very easy to not do your work during that
and and
time.
very and very easy to suddenly realise you don't remember as much as you thought you did from school.
Yeah. Adjacent's worked from home, I don't know, since before we had kids. And my job, I was able to work from home the entire time. So we both had 40 plus hour jobs, and we were primary teachers for our children. So it was
Yep.
so much fun. It was great.
But let's not have another pandemic too soon.
No, no. There was a during like the apocalyptical like time, like when it was first, like nobody was out, nobody was driving, and we were just kind of walking around our neighborhood, and everyone, it was like nobody was anywhere. I mean, that was kind of actually really, really neat because they hadn't figured out how to do like virtual school.
Yep.
Adjacent still had to work some, but they were still being pretty lenient because they're like, oh my goodness, what do we do? And, my job still hadn't. So it was like very much just family being together and where do I get toilet paper? That was like the
Yeah.
entire thing.
There was a global shortage of toilet paper. Now, I never thought in my lifetime that would have been a problem, but a global shortage of toilet paper.
Yeah.
We were unusual because the island that I live on is a tourist destination,
Oh,
and during the summer months, at the moment, it's very very heavily tourist orientated, and we had some of the nicest weather that I can remember. I mean, we live in Scotland, so it's rain, wind, and lots more rain and wind. So when you get really nice weather like that, people make the most of it. And we had some of the nicest weather during the pandemic, and you would go out for a walk, and there was just nobody here, and it was so strange, so strange. You just saw nobody. And on the island, you don't get that. If there's nice weather, there's people here, and vice versa. So it was unusual, but nice at the same time. And then it got very boring very quickly.
yeah. Yeah, I hear you on all of those things. It it's touristy here too, so it was very interesting um,
Hmm.
seeing the nothing,
Yeah.
and it was
I think the good
definitely.
thing, and you've probably had people say this before, but certainly it's what happened for me. I ended up streaming online and playing music online. So had it not been for the pandemic, I probably wouldn't have ended up being on Twitch. I certainly wouldn't have ended up being on YouTube. So yeah, I think from that side of it, when I talk to a lot of different people, I think I've just seen Sarcasm in the chat as well.
Yeah, I know. Why is
And
he here?
yeah, it's a little bit unusual. He must have run out of tomato juice.
I think so.
Um, but I think so many different people ended up starting streaming because of this, which is great because I've made so many different friends through Twitch and online that I wouldn't have made had it not been for this. And it's such a strange situation. But I remember talking to Sarcasm and I don't know if you'll know Richie Phillips, but he was streaming on Twitch for a while. And we were talking every single day for about nearly 6 months. And we'd never met. We've never met in real life. And yet we were talking almost every single day. And we became friends so quickly because we all joined Twitch at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely is the case. Like, you know, our mods feel, you know, like family. They're some of our, you know, closest friends, and we have so many other friends that are out there as well. And it does, you get so close to people so quickly, and it's weird.
Yeah.
It feels so
To be
strange.
fair, I didn't. When I became friends with Sarcasm, I didn't realise he was putting beer into tomato juice. I think we might need to reevaluate what's
I know.
this friendship.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. The very first time I ended up in his stream, he did that, and it took me a while to go back. Like,
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
yeah, yeah. The Get over it, folks. You mentioned, like, because of the pandemic, you came on Twitch. When did you start on Twitch? Was it near the beginning?
So no, it was a lot later on, and I really regret that actually because I tried Facebook first, and I couldn't really get on with Facebook very much. Drifted away from it and found Twitch because of a work project that I was doing. And I thought at the time Twitch was just gaming. I didn't realise there was this whole other side to Twitch with music and just chatting and everything else that's on the platform now. So eventually I decided to give it a go, and Sarcasm was actually one of the first streams that I ended up in. So yeah, and that was about a year and a half ago now. So I was quite late on by the time I'd got to Twitch.
Um, hold on one sec. Is that neighborhood smell or in the workshop smell?
Let's go with neighborhood smell.
Okay, cool. There's like a burning smell, and our neighbor, who sometimes smells like a burning rubbery smell, isn't making his car make noises. So just making sure it's not us that smells like something's burning, but somebody could be having a fire somewhere. So it's a nice safe bet. But I just needed to check.
A few of the community in the chat are probably laughing at the moment because one of the jobs I have on the island is I'm a part-time firefighter. So if you start talking about fires, then yeah, I don't think I'll get there in time though. I don't think I'll get there.
Probably not. What kind of work project did you have that made you go on Twitch? That seems like an interesting work project.
Yep. So I work for a mobile app development company. We are building a mobile app for artists, and in some ways it works similar to Twitch. It's not live streaming. It's all to do with artists' work, drawings and paintings and things. But people can tip and they can become a member of their channel, of their studio as we call it, and they can help support that artist. So very similar to Patreon, Twitch, Buy Me a Coffee, that kind of thing. But it's focused purely on artwork.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
So basically, I came to Twitch to steal some ideas, and ended up becoming a member.
There you go. You come to steal, and then you're like, this is pretty good.
I mean, maybe not steal, but certainly get some inspiration.
Oh, I know. So you mentioned other artists, but you yourself are an artist.
I am, yes. I draw with pencils. I'm a pencil artist. That I started doing not long before the pandemic. It's probably about 3 years ago now I started doing that again. And that was the first time I'd picked up a pencil in about 20 years since I'd left school. And since then I've done a whole load of things. I had the pleasure of drawing an album cover, or an EP cover, sorry, for Dragonfly Sky Music here on Twitch. Their single Willow Tree. I got to do the artwork for that, so I was quite pleased with that. That was a nice thing to be involved in. Amy and Chris are again two awesome people that I've met here on Twitch, and the song itself is fantastic. So being able to be part of the release for that and do the artwork for it was really good.
Now you said you hadn't picked up a pencil since then, and that's might not be an over exaggeration, like literally a pencil, because you don't like to write lyrics at all.
Not really. No, I'm not. I'm not really a songwriter. I have tried and failed miserably, repeatedly. Um, no, I'm not really a songwriter at all. I have the utmost respect for people that can sit down with a guitar, a piano, whatever it is, and tell a story in song. And it's quite funny because people that know me would say that I talk a lot, and you would think that that would translate over to songwriting. It doesn't. um, so I've never really been a songwriter. I tend to stick more to if I'm playing a gig, then it's cover stuff, and on Twitch I do a lot of traditional Scottish music that can sometimes be 300, 400 years old. Um, I quite like the traditional folk stuff, and it's already been written, so I don't really need to worry about writing the lyrics.
They've already got it covered. Let's just not even.
Yeah.
Eh. Um, I don't think that I've ever actually, other than some of the stuff as I was trying to like poke around and look at your stuff, I don't think I've ever actually heard any traditional Scottish music.
I think you probably have, and you probably just don't realise that that's what it is, and that's very, very common,
Hmm.
very common. So one example of that is probably well, it is the second most sung song in the world, second only to Happy Birthday, and it's called Auld Lang Syne.
Oh,
And yep, it's normally sung as we would call it in Scotland, Hogmanay, but at New Year. And it's sung all over the world in different situations. But that was written by a Scottish poet and songwriter called Robert Burns. Um, so yeah, and it's
so
it's the
then
second
yes,
most song sung in the world.
then
And
you are correct.
yep. So that's one example, and one that I will probably share later on was made famous by a band called Runrig, called Loch Lomond, and I think maybe when you start to hear it, you'll possibly recognise it. So there's loads of songs that people don't realise are Scottish, but when they start to hear it, the penny drops. And similar, Scottish music and Irish music are very, very similar. And sometimes people think a song's Irish, and it turns out it's Scottish. Sometimes people think a song's Scottish, turns out it's Irish. So yeah, we like to share music quite a lot.
So Cam Janet mentioned that she has a Apple Pen, and have you ever? I know that you like Apple products. We had a little bit of a discussion about how they go obsolete, so that part sucks. But
Yeah, the
then,
frustrating bit.
but do you ever do any? Do you ever do any digital drawing? Have you tried that, or is it strictly pencil?
Not really. It's strictly pencil. But what I tend to do is, if I'm working from a photo, and it can be quite difficult sometimes working from a photo, if it's particularly complex. So what I'll sometimes do is I'll put the photo into one of the Apple apps, and I will use the Apple Pen to sketch over the top of the photo. and I'll pick out certain details. And then what I can do is I can remove the photo from the background, and I just end up with essentially a line drawing on the iPad that I can then use for reference when I'm doing the sketch. So sometimes I'll do things like that, but not very often. It really depends on how complex the drawing is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's different techniques for different things. If it's a person that I'm drawing, then that's completely different from a landscape, which was completely different. I did a shop front of one of the shops here on the island just recently, and again, that's another totally different style of drawing. So it really depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah, I start with the whole I only do digital drawing, and that's only because I needed emotes and that's it. That's really it. I didn't want to pay for emotes, so I started drawing them, and so that's
I think the digital side for me is something that I never really. I used to be a photographer a long time ago, so I know my way around Photoshop, but it never really translated into the art side of things.
yeah. Yeah, I've the only time I ever find myself like going into Photoshop is when I need to like I'm not into digital. I'm an accountant. Like I'm not into digital design and any of that. So, anytime I use Photoshop, it's just because you could make a GIF pretty easily in there. And so when you're making the animated emotes, that's the easiest place for me to make them. I know that you can make more complex ones other places because you literally can only make them do like
Well, this is the thing. You can make a more complex one, but then you try to upload it to Twitch and it says, nope, the file's too big. No, there's too many frames. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. So, yeah, you're better sticking to the simple ones. I had a GIF that I had to reduce it down to a fraction of what I actually wanted because it just wasn't working at all. So.
yeah,
Hopefully they change that going forward, and they make it so that you can have a little bit more animation in it.
yeah, you're only allowed 60 frames and it has to be a certain size. And so I have a PNG compress site that I go to, and I have a GIF compress site that I go to, and yeah, there's a whole thing. But I
But
actually,
by the time it gets to Twitch, it's been compressed about 6 times.
yeah, you just start cycling it through. That is correct. Yeah, I like using the Adobe Fresco, I think it's called. It's one you can actually draw right on. That's the place. But I do the whole line drawing first. So, but by the time, if you look at all of the layers that I have that are like hidden, it's just there's so many that are just like, okay, these are all hidden, and then I've just started putting things into like a folder. Like you can like put your layers in a folder, and that makes things a lot easier when you're trying to like hide
Do
all of them.
do you find? Because I think one thing that puts me off with the Apple Pencil is it always feels the same. So you're changing the type of line, you're changing the type of effect that you're getting, but it naturally always feels the same. And I miss that because with the pencils they are different softness, different thickness, so I like that control. Do you find when you use the Apple Pencil that is that quite easy to get over, or
No, I find it there are so many things that drive me nuts, and I actually so I use the non-Apple versions of everything, but there there's just so many things that I don't enjoy about it, and I have done some pastel drawings and paintings, and as much as I say that I'm not good at, drawing and anything. I do it a lot. And I know exactly what you mean about the difference in the feeling. And there is truly, a piece of that is missing, and it becomes
you're going to have
really
to you're going to have to share some of your artwork now so that we can see it, because you've said that you're not good at it, but I think we should be the judge of that. So I think
It
you're definitely going to have to share it.
it's like way back underneath my desk in a thing. There's no way. It's
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's from like way back in the day, so no. Um but the yeah, Mom, no, you're biased. You can't say that. I love you, but you don't count in this particular situation. Um, but one thing that I find that's really hard when you're drawing, when you're going through all of this, is that your your hand messes with everything. Like I'm a lefty, and so I actually the only time that I really actually um enjoy drawing is if I have like a sweater on so that I can put the sweater up around my hand and then draw, because it just becomes easier then because I'm not like moving everything. Um
So that, I mean, that must be really common with the pastels, because it's the same with graphite. It's so easy to smudge things. But what we do, or what I do, is I put a bit of drawing paper over the top, so that my hand just moves about on the drawing paper, and it does help. Um, I have done something very daft before. I was working on a big drawing, of the local seafront, and I decided to go out. It was one of the few days where we had nice weather. I decided to go outside, and I thought, because I'm Scottish, my skin colour is usually blue. Um,
I like to say
so
mine is like see-through, so it becomes tie-dye because you can see all of the like veins.
yeah, I have spent approximately 2 hours in the sun, and I look bright red at the moment. So I put sun cream on before I went out, and I started drawing, and I put my sunglasses on, and I could see marks all through the paper, and it was the oil from the sun cream, because I'd lent on the page and it was all over it. So needless to say, that big drawing got scrapped, because although you couldn't see it with the naked eye, as soon as I put sunglasses on, you could see the oil marks. So yeah, that one got scrapped and in the bin, and I had to start from scratch with the same drawing, which is the most frustrating thing in the world. That's if you're already halfway through a drawing and you have to start again, all of a sudden you hate that drawing. It's just, yeah.
You're like, oh, this is going really good, and then all of a sudden you're like, this is the worst thing in the world.
And
Yeah.
and the second version is never as good as the first version.
No, no, nope. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the part I actually hate the most, is like when that you would think that as you go, it would get better. But for some reason, when you're trying to redo something, the second version is not as good as the first.
I think there's something there's always a strange thing that happens with artwork. Certainly for myself, and I know other artists I speak to, you go through a phase where you think it's terrible. Um, you you start off, it usually starts off quite good. You think it's quite exciting, and then when you get to about a third of the way through the drawing, it just doesn't look right. You think it's you're not happy with it, and then you've got to try and push through that, and you get to a stage where it's happy, with you're happy again. And I actually spoke to somebody about songwriting recently, and they said that, but they said it's not usually with one song. It's usually with multiple songs. You'll write 2 or 3 songs, you won't be happy with them, and then all of a sudden one will come along, and you think it's the one that you're looking for. And I find that quite interesting, because, as I say, I don't really write songs, but I can understand that from a drawing point of view.
Yeah. And I enjoy that piece of art. The fact that it is almost a universal language where, I don't necessarily feel like my drawing of any kind or my painting of any kind, anything that has to do with like using my hands to manipulate a medium, I feel like I am very, very like subpar, and I on the other hand, when it comes to being able to, I feel like some of the stuff that we do here on the stream is almost like art, you know, adding the waves behind us and the work that went into like doing that, adding the layers in, the different layers, the different pieces that go into, you know, all of it, like going into it and understanding like the different ways that it works together feels like an art to me. So knowing about the different versions and listening to all that, it's the same kind of thing that you're talking about.
Art is so subjective. I mean, there's no such thing as good art or bad art, because I might draw something and to me it might be one of the best drawings I've done, and somebody else might see it and not like it because it's not, it's maybe too literal. I draw what I see. I don't really interpret things too much. And for some people, art has to be about interpretation rather than, it's not a photograph, so that it's more about that. So I think art is so subjective, and what you're saying about the stream, without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean, you told me before when we were talking before, you told me that it was 100 different
Scenes, yeah.
in OBS. I mean, that's crazy, and it's taken a lot of time and effort to put that together. And I couldn't do that. That's so, yeah. And your stream, the setup for the stream looks fantastic. So I would get behind that. I definitely think it is. And that's before we even start talking about the ability to go on camera and talk to people and guide people through an interview, which is not an easy task either.
Yeah, I think that is more just being able to BS my way through life. That one, it's just if we can talk about complete nonsense. So,
If you want to talk complete nonsense, you can have me, or you can have me on here anytime you like, because that's pretty much what we do. I just talk nonsense.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. I think that, yeah, between like what I can do digitally, I actually don't like some of my flamingos. They're talking about them in chat. I actually do not enjoy a number of my flamingos. I have a really difficult time with many of them. So that was not part of what I was talking about when it came to things that I like. But I like this, and then also I like building things. I built a catio, but it ended up looking like a surf shack. And so like
you're gonna have to explain. You're gonna have to explain to me what a catio is.
Okay, so what ended up happening is I wanted to be able, we have 2 kittens, and I wanted to be able to let them go outside some, and the plan originally was to have like just like an outside structure that was freestanding that we got off of Amazon that just screwed it together and it was there. But that never happens. Never ever happens in art. It doesn't. So what ended up happening is we found a bunny hutch, and the bunny hutch wasn't tall enough to actually reach our window. And you may say, well, why does that matter? And the reason it matters is because now we made it so the kittens can go out of the window and down a little chute into the bunny hutch. And as we're building this, first we were just calling it the catio, and then it turned into the treehouse. And then as it was coming together, we're like, no, wait a minute. This looks like a surf shack. And so then it painted like a surf shack.
The luckiest cats ever.
I mean, I think it's a pretty nice place, but then I can't just leave it as like that. I made them, off of Amazon, I got like, people sometimes have houses that are kind of beach themed. So there was like these cutting boards that were shaped like surfboards. So I got those and I painted their names on it. And so now they have surfboards outside of their surf shack. And then there's a sign that says beware of sharks out there, because one of them likes to eat feet. And
I'm just laughing because Susie Funtown has said the damn kittens haven't even bothered to learn to surf.
I know they have surfboards and they haven't even used them yet. So yeah. But we are starting them on a stream. As soon as they get to 50 followers, we will be streaming the cats whenever they happen to be outside in their catio. Well, it'll probably be on more than that, but they'll just be there sometimes. They're free range kittens because they can come and go through the window whenever they want to.
Yep.
But I've already made their emotes.
So we definitely need to get them. So we need to do a shout out for the cats.
Yep, it's called the Surf Shack.
The Surf Shack, so that we can get them to 50. I will definitely be following.
Yep, so that's a whole thing. All right, I think now that we've talked way too much about this. Oh, I forgot, Jason. I knew one that I wanted that I forgot to draw. So the ones that I've already drawn are the two kittens together, and their tails make a heart. You have to have a heart emote. Like everybody and their mom needs to have a heart emote. And my mom will as soon as we can get her streaming. And then I made one of them is like a lion, basically, she thinks. And then so I made it with her mouth open, but it looks like she's singing. So we've got that one. And then I turned one into a pirate. And then the one that bites everybody is a shark. So I drew her into a shark. But I forgot I wanted to make them actually surfing. So, yep. Yep.
You need to do definitely cat surfing.
Yeah. Yep. I forgot about that one. Now I know what I'm doing tonight. Last night I was shooting off emotes to rocks, and when I sent her the one that was the shark, she's like, "You need to go to bed now."
So do you do emotes for other people then?
I've done a few emotes for other people. I made one for Sir Cressum. I made his dancing parrot. And I've made one for Jamie 88888. She has a dancing raccoon. I make all of it Jason's emotes. He hasn't paid me yet though. He's a slacker.
Yeah, need to get that sorted. Get the invoice in.
Yep. I've made
I
two.
I made an emote for Sir Cressum as well. It
Has
says
he
worst
paid you?
streamer ever. No. It was. To be fair, it took me all of about 2 minutes, but it got a good laugh.
I made two so far for Social Climate. I've made all of the Roxy Paradox. I made a fancy unicorn for Dream On. So yeah, I made a few.
So the unicorn, since you brought it up, is the national animal of Scotland.
Serious? That's awesome.
Yep. We have a mythological creature as our national animal.
I would have thought it was
So
the Loch, Loch Ness monster. Isn't that
that's
Scottish?
definitely mythical as well.
No,
Yeah,
I was gonna
it's not
say
Nessie. Yeah,
I
it's not Nessie.
wasn't. I knew it
We
was
like made
mythical.
up. Yeah, we like made up creatures. We have haggis, we have Nessie, we have unicorns. we I'm pretty sure we have real animals somewhere as well. But yeah,
Wait, I thought
yeah, the
haggis was a
unicorn is
kind
our
of.
national animal.
I thought haggis was like a meat thing.
Well, yeah, well, it is, but we like to pretend that it's a little hairy animal that runs around the hills. And I haven't brought one with me, but I have real haggis. On my stream, we call it the Haggis Farm, and we have Harry the Hairy Haggis. We have his wife Henrietta, and we have their son Wee Hamish. And I'm just looking for the emotes at the moment. I'm just going to put them on. I have a dancing haggis since we're talking about emotes. In the chat just now, that's Harry the Hairy Haggis, who's dancing away. So yeah, we pretend we like to pretend to tourists that haggis run around the hills in Scotland, and you've got to try and catch one for your dinner. But um, in reality, it's a bit like mince. It's a bit like mincemeat. It's yeah, it's kind of all chopped up meat and cooked in a sheep's stomach traditionally. So
Mmm.
apologies to any vegetarians out there that are listening, but yeah, it's very nice. It's spiced and it's got oats and things through it. It's really nice. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, the everything other than the sheep's stomach sounds great, but then you add that and that just sounds
Yeah, tasty. It is
yeah.
nice, and I've just seen that Emster has said, tell them about the haggis legs. So haggis are quite strange. They've got four legs, but two legs on one side are longer than the other on the other side. So they're and this is so that they can stand straight on the hill because the hills in Scotland are so steep. They have one leg shorter than the other, but the what makes it even stranger is that the male haggis it's their left legs that are longer, and the female haggis it's their right legs that are longer. So they run round the hills in opposite directions, and if they trip up, then they roll down the hill because they can't get their balance again. So if you want to catch a haggis, you're better just standing at the bottom of the hill and waiting for them to roll down. And that's 100% genuine. I didn't just make that up.
Okay, okay, so I was thinking of asking this earlier, but then it like slipped my mind. So, but this just brings it right back. So are there any oh, there's no way I'm going to say this word right, so I'm just going to explain it with all the words instead of the one word that would just take care of it quickly. So, are there any like specific to Scotland? Oh, I guess it's not going to be too long. Specific to Scotland, are there any sayings that just would make no sense anywhere else?
Um, I don't know if they wouldn't make sense anywhere else, but one of my favourite ones is Hodger Reist.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does if I tell you what it is, but Hodger Reist is basically sort of hold your tongue and be quiet. So Hodger Reist is a good one. Um,
Barry
I'm
says all of them.
all of them, yeah. But Barry will be able to give us a few in the chat. My mind's going blank.
That happens.
Um, yeah, it's quite funny. I had the local lager, if you like, a company called Tennant's brought out a pint glass for beer that has all the Scottish sayings on it, which is quite good. It's but yeah, there's loads. And I am really drawing a blank at the moment. Barry will be able to put a few in the chat.
Joanna says that she never understood fit likely. Her husband says it all the time, but can't really explain what it means.
Fit likely. I think that might be an East Coast type of phrase. Fit is a kind of East Coast word, so that's more kind of Edinburgh and up towards Aberdeen and places like that. So we've got several different languages in Scotland, and different dialects within those. We obviously speak English, perhaps not very well, but we speak English. You have Scots, which is it's a language in its own right, but it's a variation. Tell them about Ken, says Barry. Ken means know, as in, do you know something? So do you ken? You ken it. Do you ken? Is,
the
so
man's
do you know
name?
Yes. But we have Scots, which is a variation of English. It's very, very similar. You also have Gaelic, which is very similar to what they would speak in Ireland. It's kind of crossed over. And one of the things that I say regularly on stream, and that we say quite a lot in Scotland, is Slanjava. So Slanjava, which basically means cheers. It's a Scottish way of saying cheers, and it means to your good health. And that's I like to finish with that usually on the stream. I like to say Slanjava. So that's Gaelic. And you also have Doric, which is over that's more up towards Aberdeen. So yeah, there's we have a wide selection in Scotland of different ways of speaking, and you can go, despite being quite a small place, particularly when you compare it to the United States. If you go from one town to another, the accent and the way we speak completely changes.
Yeah, I think that, here in the US it's definitely like a slow transition as you go further down. Or as you go further up, actually, as well. There are parts in Maine where I can't even understand what they're saying. And so that's really interesting that just like one town to the next is just a complete change.
England's the same. England, you can go from Liverpool to Manchester, and the way they speak is just polar opposites. I mean, it's very strange. So I think it's a UK thing rather than a it's a UK wide thing, that we seem to have different accents in very concentrated areas.
Okay, so I think we're going to shift now to doing a game, which means that we need to bring Jason on stream. Sometimes I notice what time it is and I'm like, oh my goodness, we haven't even done a game yet. And then Jason starts handing me notes if I go too long, and he's like, do you still want to play the game? Yes.
I'm a little bit worried about playing the game, to be honest. I might not be very good at this.
Oh, I'm not. For this game, just so you know, the people that they surveyed. Oh wait, did you find a different survey?
Found a survey.
Okay, so some of the ones that we play, definitely they just chose the weirdest thing. So if you like pick the answer that makes no sense whatsoever, that was probably the right one. I started working on a thing to keep track of points and stuff, and I tried to put Smalls in charge of it. He did his typical like sure thing, so I don't know if he really wants to or if he's just saying it.
Okay, someone will do it at some point.
Yeah.
You called this something different as well, didn't you?
Yes.
We were talking.
Yes.
What did you call this?
So we play here a game that's similar to Family Feud, but you don't call it that. You call it
Family Fortunes.
Yeah.
Family Fortunes. And I'm assuming it's the same. It sounds like it's the same game. But yeah, we call it Family Fortunes rather than Family Feud.
Yeah. So the game, as I was quickly as I was quickly explaining it, is we didn't survey, someone surveyed whatever list that Jason found. Someone surveyed 100-ish people and asked them a question, and they gave their answer. So if the question was, name a house that you wouldn't want to live in, then an answer could be a haunted house. And that's the basic premise of the game. The way we play here is you need to ring in, and if you ring in first, I try to make sure I leave a little bit of time for any lag. If you ring in first, you get to answer, and if you get the number one answer, you get a point. If you don't get the number one answer, your opponent can try to steal, but they can ask chat to help them out. So how the chat can help you. I wouldn't necessarily go with what Susie Funtown said for this particular question, because I don't think anybody would say a birdhouse, because nobody would have thought about living in a birdhouse.
I reckon Surf Shack could be up there, though.
Potentially. So, do you understand a house of cards? Probably would not be a place either. Do you understand?
I've got that. That's fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So to ring in, you just make any kind of noise. We have heard all kinds of noises here on this show. Ooh. Jason is changing the camera angle with our very fancy camera here that runs on magic power. Also, it's just his hand. He just moved it with his hand. Oh, well, we're going again. Oh, look. Whoa.
There we go. You're better now.
Do you feel better about that?
I do. Do you?
I don't. I don't know. But as long as you feel better about that,
You look like you were hiding.
You can't see me. Sometimes you just want to hide. Yeah. Okay. All right, Jason, I think we're both ready.
Okay. First question.
Okay.
Get your buzzer ready. Okay.
Oh, do I need to decide what my buzzer's going to be?
So it can be a noise that you make with your mouth, or you can strum your guitar, or you can go get something. Whatever you want to do, it's fine.
It's probably just going to be because I'm really excited at the fact that I know the answer.
Yeah, mine normally is I pretend to do a buzzer but forget to make a noise. So you'll be fine.
All right, you're both perfectly ready then.
We're ready.
All right, first question. Name something people write with.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm raising my hand.
You got my attention. Scott, what's your answer?
A pen.
It is on the list, but not the number one answer.
All right. I did the thing again where I didn't make a noise.
Okay.
All right. So
Apple pen.
Miss Janet says Apple pen. Small says the sky. How can you write with the sky?
Skywriter?
Yeah, but wouldn't that be writing in the sky?
Yes.
Not with it.
You're right.
Smalls, come on now, buddy. Are you trying to make me lose?
Any
I can
other
do that on
ideas?
my own. All right. Anybody have any ideas? Because if not, I've got one. I'm going to go with a plane. Joey's is like, fine. Use a plane then. A fountain pen. These are just kinds of pens. A quill. That might be on the list, actually, knowing these people. A crayon, a stick, any kind of liquid. I was going to go with pencil.
You have a lot of options.
Blood. I'm going to go with pencil.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, you're correct.
I'm correct.
Pencil's the number one answer.
Number one.
And that would have been the most obvious choice for me as well.
I know. I figured you probably would have done that one, but I was like, okay.
All right, the top the top 5 answers were pencil, pen, keyboard, crayon, and chalk.
Who writes with a crayon?
My children, anytime I tell them, go get me a pencil, and the first thing they can find is a crayon, they're like, here, I'm not going to write with that. I will then. Stop it.
All right, Vibey gets the first point. We usually do
Who writes
best
with
of
a keyboard?
best of 5, so
Just pick up the keyboard. Just start
Yeah.
writing with it.
that works. All right, next question. Name something you might see at the beach.
Me.
Oh.
I think I got this one.
Yeah, vibing.
I'm gonna say the water.
Yep, you got it.
Really?
Ocean or the water.
Wow. I figured that was too on the nose to actually be number one.
It was a close with the sand.
Yeah,
These people were
Sand
pretty
would have been mine.
All right. Yep.
naked people. Oh wait, wrong kind of people.
People was third. Clothed or not clothed. It doesn't specify. Then shells, crabs, and towels. Crabs.
I
That's
guess it
interesting.
depends on what kind,
Yeah.
whether or not they're wearing clothes. If you're
That's
gonna,
true.
yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
That one was specifically for Klingon. Like that was
Oh, yeah.
only for Klingon.
That's totally for Klingon.
That was it.
All right.
All right. You got to do this. Get this one to stay in the game.
Yep. It's sudden death time for Scott. Name something people put on pizza.
Oh.
Yes.
And it's going to disgust me to say this because I can't stand it, but I'm going to say pineapple.
Not on the list.
Wow.
Oh, well, I'm actually quite pleased about that. That's because I think pineapple on a pizza is disgusting. It's
Look, the first two answers in the chat were pineapple.
Yep. Everyone loves that for a topic.
Pineapple. Yeah. Don't tell Bob Blaho that. He
No.
will freak out on
Well,
you.
it's not pizza.
Yeah. I'm gonna say cheese.
Cheese is the number 1 answer.
Yay! I just won one.
it's just too obvious.
It's
for
very
me.
obvious.
Yeah, it was too
Che-
obvious.
Cheese is on all pizza, but pepperoni was second. Then sausage, peppers, and mushrooms.
Yeah.
Sausage on a pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you not?
we-
You don't do that?
No, we don't put sausage on a pizza.
What are other toppings you do put on a pizza?
I suppose we put minced beef. I guess that's kind of sausage.
Yeah, kind of. Unless it
Yeah,
has spices.
Yes.
The wrong people were surveyed.
The wrong people were surveyed. I agree. They didn't survey Scottish people because if they'd asked about the beach, then it would have probably been something like rain. And if they'd asked about pizza, then it would have probably been haggis. So,
Wait, do you put haggis on pizza?
oh yeah, haggis on pizza is the best thing.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, haggis and black pudding.
Wow.
Black,
Did you say black pudding?
Black pudding. Yep. I don't really know what you would call this. Blood pudding, maybe. Is that
Okay,
how
we
you
don't
call
have
it?
that either. What is it?
It's basically it's a bit like fruit pudding, but it's made of pig's blood usually.
You
and it
take
comes with
pig's
a-
blood and you put it on a pizza. And you think
And
putting
it's congealed.
pineapple,
Yeah.
congealed pig's blood on a pizza, and you think pineapple is gross.
Yeah.
Wait, do you hear those words? Let me just say them again for you. You put congealed pig's blood on a pizza, and you think putting pineapple on a pizza is gross.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't like pineapple, but pineapple is a dessert. It's not. It's fruit.
We've got to go to Scotland.
You don't even.
I'm not putting
you don't even-
congealed pig's blood on my pizza.
It's really nice.
It
You
sounds
cook
great.
it first. You don't. You cook it. You don't just put it on raw. I mean, it's got to
That'd
be
be
cooked.
ridiculous.
Smalls would like to know, what did pineapple ever do to you?
It just doesn't taste nice at all.
Smack Talk's definitely Team Pineapple.
Yeah.
Happy Science
Black-
says it's
And
delicious without pizza. So yeah.
Emster
okay
says
with
black
people-
pudding sausage is big in Denmark.
Yep. I'm okay with people eating pineapple, but just keep it off a pizza. It doesn't belong on pizza.
I'm not okay with people eating congealed pig's blood. So, I mean, tomatoes. As long as you don't put the tomatoes in beer, we're fine.
Yeah, that's just wrong. Of all the things that we've spoken about tonight, that's the one that's the most wrong.
Yeah, totally. Not as wrong as congealed pig's blood. No, definitely not. Okay. Klingon would like to know what pronouns you use and are you single?
I am he, him, and I am not single. And my partner is probably in the chat somewhere. Yeah.
So, sorry, Klingon.
But I'm very flattered, Klingon.
Move away from the pig's blood. Yeah, we gotta move on. We gotta move on. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clear away the points. We're gonna clear away the game board, and then we're gonna ask Jason, do you have anything really important you'd like to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I'll go away and see you. Bye. So now, if you would be up for it, we ask for a original song, but you don't write music. Nope. So we
Nope.
talked about it and decided that you would play us some traditional Scottish music.
So I decided that I would do one that people probably know, and people that come to the Haggis Farm, I know this is one of their favourites. And this is a traditional Scottish song that was written after a major battle in Scotland, which all good Scottish music is either written about whiskey or battles. So if you want to write a good Scottish song, pick a battle or write about whiskey, and you're halfway there.
I feel like you should be able to write a song then. Just write about a battle about whiskey, and then you are.
Well, you would
So
think.
close.
You would think. Yeah. So this is called Loch Lomond, which is one of the bodies of water. It's in Scotland. We don't call them lakes. We call them lochs. So Loch Lomond is one of the most famous lochs in Scotland, and the song itself actually has a bit of a sad story behind it, because it was written by two soldiers that had been captured during the Battle of Culloden, and they were going down to London to be tried for their crimes. And in Scotland, if you die in another country, your soul returns back to Scotland. That's the kind of the belief in Scotland. And the song itself was written about one of the prisoners was going to die, and his family would have to go back via the high roads because they couldn't walk on the main roads because they would be captured by the English. And he would take the low road because he would be tried and found guilty, but he would be in Scotland before they would be. And that's kind of where the song's going with it. It was covered by a band called Runrig and made really, really popular. And then ever since then, everybody thinks it's a really romantic love song. So depending on how you want to interpret the lyrics, depends on whether it's a song about somebody being put on trial for treason, or somebody missing the love of their life.
Okay, let me just shift this around. That's really interesting, though, about the different the ways that came about. It's really funny when it's like we were talking about earlier about songs art being interpreted in different ways. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to slide myself off of here, and then you won't be able to tell, but everybody else will. And then you'll be good to go.
Excellent. Thank you very much. By yon bonny banks and yon bonny breeze, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, me and my true love spent many happy days on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. And ye'll tak the high road, and I'll tak the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep sides of Ben Lomond, and in that purple hue where the Highland hills we view, and the moon's coming out in the gloaming. Oh, and ye'll tak the high road, and I'll tak the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. And the wee birdies sing, and the wild flowers spring, and in sunshine the waters, they are sleeping. But the broken heart, no, it kens nae second spring, though the wee fae may cease for their greeting. And ye'll tak the high road, and I'll tak the low, and I'll be in Scotland before ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, and ye'll tak the high road, I'll tak the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I try to really listen in two frames of mind. And it is a very different song depending on how you listen to it. So it's fairly interesting knowing that piece of it. And you're right, I have heard that song before.
And to be honest, most people in Scotland don't know the story behind the song either. So it's not as if it's sort of mainstream knowledge. I really like the history. Playing a lot of traditional things, you tend to find that most of the songs have a story behind them, and it's one of the great things about traditional music is learning the story that goes behind it.
Yeah, I think that adds a really wonderful piece to you know, the show, like a really wonderful piece of the um the experience, knowing that, and then hearing you sing it very beautifully. It was amazing. It
Thank you.
was it was lovely. And we really appreciate you singing that for us. Now, now is the time when I ask you what your streaming schedule is, but
My streaming schedule's a little bit out of whack at the moment. So I recently, if you don't mind me doing a little bit of self promotion, if that's okay.
you should.
Um,
That is what I mean. You're here, and you should do that. So go ahead.
Excellent, thank you. So I am on Twitch, and obviously my name is on the screen. It's Scott Watson Music. I recently made YouTube partner, so I also have a YouTube channel, and it is, if you search for Scott Watson Music, you'll find it. But the URL is Scott Watson Music Scotland, because apparently there's another Scott Watson Music somewhere. Um, but while I'm not streaming very much at the moment, and I hope to be back streaming again soon, I am adding things to the YouTube channel all the time. So a lot of the traditional Scottish songs are going on to the YouTube channel. So anyone that wants to listen to a little bit more, that's where you can find it.
So why aren't you streaming so much right now?
Just between work and various setups and things like that. And also I put a big push on to go for YouTube partner. So that took up a lot of my time trying to do that.
Yeah. You were telling me about we had a whole conversation about your Zoom in front of you. And so you're telling me that you were trying to do a mobile setup. Um, so will we see some mobile streams?
Hopefully, one of the things that I've done on YouTube that's been really popular is recording at a location somewhere on the island. And it gives a little bit of insight into obviously how the island looks to people, so that's quite nice. And to do that, I naturally need a mobile setup. So using the Zoom recorder, which I'm really impressed with, I think it's great, and hopefully it's come across really well tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to go out and do a live stream at some point, maybe outside somewhere, but if not, certainly more videos.
That sounds wonderful. We really appreciate getting that information. Yeah, I definitely want to go and check out some of that, some of those videos, because I want to see what it looks like. That's really, really wonderful. I want to say thank you so much to Kat for the resub and Smalls for the gift sub, and Grain. Are we going Grain? Grain for the bits. So we appreciate you being on the show today. If you're not already following Scott here on Twitch and on YouTube, please make sure that you do. And on YouTube, it's called subscribing. Here, it's following. So please make sure that you are doing that. Yeah. Thank you so much, anonymous gifter, for that. We really appreciate it. So
You now have
thank
a
you.
level 2 hype train as well.
Level 2 hype train. Yes, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. Okay. Well, thank you so very much, Scott. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that that Sir Cressum has great taste in music, just really bad taste in beer accoutrements.
Yes, definitely, definitely. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. Honestly, vibing. Thank you so much, and thank you to Adjacent as well for having me. It's I haven't done anything like this before, so it's been quite strange, but I've really enjoyed it. So thank you.
Yeah, and we should do it again in the future. And it turns out we do events now too, so we'll be in contact about that as well sometime in the future. We didn't know that until last weekend, so
How things change.
things just change. Thank you so much, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have fun at the pub.
Yes, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's live music on, so I might go and I might go and say hello.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We will see you again soon.
Excellent. Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Are you back? We're both back. So, hi everybody. Thank you so much for that hype train that we are in the process of. We are in a level 2 hype train.
Goodness, thanks everybody.
I hope you enjoyed that with that interview and music. That was beautiful. That was
Great. Yeah.
It was beautiful. I hope that you enjoyed that. For hype trains, what we do is we do some silly getting to know you questions. Last time we got to see my really ridiculous dance move.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you, Smack Doc, for that gift sub.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate that. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this level. I've got one that I know the answer to, so I'm going to ask you,
Okay.
what's the funniest thing that you've ever seen?
You know your answer.
I do.
What's the funniest thing I've ever seen? Oh, goodness. I'm blanking. What's yours?
Mine is, so there was this guy, as it came out during the pandemic, and anytime that I really need to laugh, I watch it.
Oh,
He got
yeah.
stuck as a kitten, like with a filter, and so it's great. The whole thing is great. You have to watch it through, and he tells the judge that he's not really a cat. It's just a filter. It's really him, and you can proceed because it's actually him and not a cat. But then if you watch it again and you watch one of the people that's in there, when he says that, his expression to it is great. And then as soon as I watch it, I just laugh for the rest of the day every time I think about it. That's definitely the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I don't know if I have one funniest thing, but I do know you have some pretty funny reels on Instagram.
I try.
Yeah.
I try to be funny.
And you're trying to get me into one now, too.
I am. We worked really hard on it, but then Instagram has some funny ways that they do things. But there is going to be a reel coming out with you in it.
I put so much work into that.
I know.
I hope it's not lost, because I don't know if I'll, like we were talking about, like you were talking about with art, I don't know if I could do the same job the second time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
We'll be able to save part of it.
Okay. The non-sunscreened part.
The non-sunscreened part?
Yeah, like the sunscreen lotion, like when Scott ruined.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
We'll be able to save the half it's not. Would you?
Jameer, thank you for those bits.
Jameer, thank you so much. Hi, welcome in, Jameer.
Good to see you, Jameer.
If you could have any career on the planet, what would it be?
On the planet.
On the whole planet.
Does astronaut count?
I think it would
Okay.
start on this planet.
You do start. You can't just start right in space and learn from there.
Mm-mm.
If I could have any job.
Dumb coworkers.
Thank you for that hype train, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh, man. I mean, I'd kind of like to be a professional athlete, but that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
But I guess I'd go with that.
It's a good one. Thank you so much for being on here tonight, Scott. If you're not following Scott Watson Music, please make sure you go and do so. I think that I would like to do something in this type of thing. Like, I don't want to have to be, we talked about me going and being on a radio station before, but they have really like early mornings sometimes, like, and you have to be away from your family for events. I don't want to do that. But like
Just the good parts.
Yeah.
You'd be like
I want to be like a
consultant, like
yeah.
you brought in just for like special gigs where you
Yeah.
can just go in when you want. You show up and have your show and
Yeah.
then leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to be like a influencer with a microphone.
You want to be the very best. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Happy sign. Scott is awesome. Thank you so much, Scott, for being on with us. It was a lot of fun.
Farm Reviver, let's farm. We can be influence farmers
Influence farmers.
as long as we have microphones.
You got to bring it in somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can make reels. Jameer and I.
For reals.
Influencer is too much work. No, we just put out a reel a day. That's how good we are.
Right. You don't need to grind.
No.
You're not in the social media grind. You just.
I don't want to wear nice clothes.
Then
You don't have
you
to,
be
because
you.
we'd be farmers.
People like seeing the real you. So
Yeah.
just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. I don't want to wear yoga pants. I want to be like an overalls farmer.
Overalls farmer influencer. This feels like a what do they stream?
Speaking of which,
Oh no. I thought maybe we'd skip this one this week, but no.
they will make us grow vegetables and couture overalls.
The most fashionable overalls around. Mm-hmm. It's a 2023 line, I'm assuming. False bubbles. What do they stream? This is the segment that is many people's favorites, yet not adjacent. We make adjacent squirm while he tries to guess what this streamer streams.
Yep,
Did I do well?
you did.
Thanks. False bubbles. What are false bubbles?
Have a good lurk.
Water? False bubbles? Water? No, just those are like non-formed bubbles. False bubbles. Well, I know Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys.
The big glasses.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going Canadian.
Okay, Canadian. Already popped bubble wrap.
Mm-hmm. Bubble Imposter. I'm going with it's a Bubbles Imposter that streams. What would Bubbles stream? I don't know what they stream. Maybe it's just an IRL stream.
An IRL stream.
Yeah, like in real life.
Oh, is that what IRL
Just-
stands for?
Yeah, no, like
Oh.
they just stream. It's like a just chatting stream where they just like walk around.
They just hook to their chest. They just walk around.
Yeah, it's a Bubbles Imposter that walks around and just streams.
So
Maybe they find the real Bubbles.
the real bubbles. That's they're hunting down the real bubbles.
Maybe they come across them.
Hmm.
Thank you, Happy Sign. It's part of my new look. Since I broke my collarbone, I've branched out into the tropical Hawaiian shirts. My arm's better now, though. Getting better. But
You can tell because he can do this.
I could do this. I couldn't do this a few weeks ago. But I still wear these. Yeah, so that's what I'm going with.
Rox is giving us overall suggestions.
Oh, nice.
All right, so a person that is trying to find the actor or like the character.
Trying to find them?
Didn't you say that?
Oh, they're not. They said they might run into them.
Oh, they might.
But
run
they're
into
just impersonating them.
Oh, they're impersonating.
Because it's a false Bubbles. It's not the real Bubbles.
Okay, so it's a Bubbles impersonator just walking around.
Yes.
Bubbles impersonator walking around Canada.
Yeah, could be. But probably, yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. All right. Let's see. That is a host.
Oh, I still have a chance then.
Hold on one second. Let's see.
Some nice soldering going on.
Yeah, there's some soldering going on there. It looks like a instrument. Can we guess who they're watching?
If it's an instrument, it looks like a really small instrument.
Oh, look at the shape of it.
It does look like a guitar. Look like a guitar.
Tiny guitar. Can you type /about?
Okay.
While check out this maker's stream. It doesn't say who it is. So no. Can't see who they were saying.
No, I can't see.
La 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 la. Let's see. Can you see it now? Almost.
Kinda.
So close.
Oh, crocheting.
All right.
You've gone back to crocheting.
Yeah. Do you want to read that? I can't. It's too tiny.
You can call me False or Bubbles or False Bubbles or just Megan. I crochet almost every day and have been crocheting for about 6 years. I love making fan art of some of my favorite nerdy and geeky things. They spelled favorite with a U. So they're either Canadian or somewhere other than the US. Some of my favorite nerdy and geeky things. All of my fan art patterns that I've made can be found for free through my Ravelry. Is that a thing? Is that like a version of Etsy?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
So you were
So
wrong.
I am horrendously wrong.
Yeah. You were wrong.
And they say yarn and plants is a personality trait, right?
It's a cool thing. Patterns. Jammies and rocks know.
Okay.
Patterns.
There's patterns. All right, nice. I'm glad I learned something new.
Mm-hmm. And they said, what did they say about plants? Yarn and plants?
Yarn and plants is a personality trait,
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
especially the plant part.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's cool. I was totally wrong,
You were
but
totally
I
wrong.
am. This is potentially more interesting. Although
Potentially.
I'd watch both.
If you're not following False Bubbles and you're into craft, if into crocheting, make sure that you go and give them a follow. You will not get to do IRL streams as they walk around impersonating the character Bubbles from the Trailer Park Boys, though.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a different stream.
Yeah. Totally.
All right,
different.
we have a few mod loves this week.
Excellent.
Let's go and do that. We're going to go tiny again. Big and small. Let's start with Jammies because she's the first one in this row.
And she was the last one to talk.
It's you won't be unhappy. And if I only could make a deal with God, not get him to swallow by pieces. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. Said if I only could.
Courtney Visser. Wonderful person. I've actually reached out to her before about being on the show and the time zones. This was before we had a Saturday stream. The time zones didn't work. And then she had some stuff going on where I didn't reach back out because I thought she might be a little busy in her life. So I do need to circle back to her because she has she's a lot of fun on her show, and also she does a it's a talk show almost. She has a musician come on and they sing together, and also they talk.
Yep, she's wonderful. She's someone that we've had on our radar for a long time. We've gone into her streams.
Yeah, way
For-
back before
Way back before we streamed.
way back before we had Saturday shows.
Yes.
So
Oh yes, and even before that, she's lovely. She's an awesome person and great musician too.
All right. So next up, a little bit of love from Miss Rocks.
Jerfo.
Jerfo the Music Addict. He's just down in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
So we are actually, hopefully, going to be able to sometime see him IRL. I don't know if we'll ever be able to have a good enough setup here for his stuff because he's pretty tech heavy in
For his music.
his music. Yeah,
If there's someone that would know how to make it work, it'd be him though.
this is true. This is true.
Yeah, Jerfo's another person that I'd seen a long time ago, and kind of drifted away from, I guess, but then came back in touch when we started.
Annie or Natalie?
Natalie. Natalie was first when we started, hanging out in Natalie's streams. Natalie Hamilton Music. He mods in there, and got to know him again, and I've been going back to his streams more lately. So he does look all serious. He does get very serious about the music, but he's such a soft-spoken, nice person. Just very supportive of other streamers.
Yeah, he seems like a really good guy.
Does.
And then next up we have Miss Joanna.
Beautiful, 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 it's true. I saw your face on a crowded place, and I don't know what to do, 'cause I'll never be with you.
I will say that clip is from a long time ago. I had to find it on YouTube. He doesn't have any videos or any VODs or clips, clips up on Twitch. So make sure you follow him if you want to be able to catch him. You'll have to catch him live. And I don't know what language his stuff was written in. Not English is the answer. I know. So I can't tell you where he is from. But yeah, from Miss Joanna, beautiful voice.
He's from Germany.
German, perhaps so. Yep, German. Okay, and then finally for our mod love, we have from Smalls.
Is this just a silly game that forces you to act this way? Forces you to scream my name, then pretend that you can't stay. Tell me who I.
So new friend of show, Nimi. For some reason I cannot say her name in one continuous word. No idea why, but I can't do it.
Nope.
She just made affiliate just recently, and yeah, beautiful
Yeah,
voice.
she was in there earlier, I believe.
Yeah, and we saw her earlier on today.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really good. Got a wonderful voice. And yep, you said just made affiliate.
Mhm.
Yep.
So 4 amazing streamers that you should definitely go and check out if you have not had a chance to already. Ooh. we only have one last segment to show you today. And I think that it goes kind of with an announcement that we will not be streaming, or I guess you will not be streaming on July 12th. We have mentioned this.
Yep.
But we will not be having a stream July 12th as it is our anniversary. So
Happy anniversary.
happy anniversary to you. We will be streaming on the 14th. We have IslandVibingPresents
Thank you.
coming up, and that is going to be an absolute blast. I'm really looking forward to that. And
Thanks, Jammies.
thank you so much, Jammies. And the weekend after, as soon as our show is over, we're having a weekend away.
Right.
It's away from all of the kids, all of them, away from the kids, away from housework, away from cooking, away from responsibilities. We're both taking Friday off. The kids are staying with main mammy Thursday before the show, all the way until she drops them off on Monday at their camp that they're going to. They're going to a glass and metal camp where they're going to do some cool stuff, make some jewelry. So
Yeah. Nice little time.
yeah, we have big plans of like taking a day trip down to Algonquin. There's a vinegar place I want to see if they're still open. And then stopping on the way up and back and seeing if there's Old Orchard Beach happens to be not too crazy busy at a couple different spots, but it's going to be.
It will be. Yeah. We'd love to feature Joanna.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. So with that, our last little piece of show here is family photos. And I think I have them in a little bit of an order. We will see. There's the wedding photos mostly, but a little bit of before time. I think they're in order. Now I can't even remember. I think they are. Okay, so yeah. Oh, we got to put this down. Hold on. Oh. 1 second. Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at those crazy kids.
Yeah, look at those little young things. What is on? I think that's just something in the background. I don't know. But yeah, so there we are. This was back in 2004 or 5. Oh, yeah. Yep, definitely some kind of lace.
Get the lace going on.
Yep. Some kind of swoop bang.
The secret photo album.
Hiking on a mountain. We used to do that quite a bit. These are going to be a very different picture quality depending on the era and where I was able to get them from. It was very difficult getting pictures back then. You know, now we can do phone pictures, so it's a little bit easier to get like a selfie. But back then, trying to get like your digital camera to take a picture. Adjacent looks like TJ Lavin. I don't know who that is. When TJ Lavin didn't look 70. I have no idea what any of that means. We went to New York. We went to New York at Christmas time. And then let's see what else. Oh, we went and sat out by the ocean. Very few pictures of just us, so you kind of get them all. And then this, I just needed to show you. This is Rexer. He's the bestest boy. Needed to share with you Rexer because he also part of our wedding. This is where we start getting into wedding pictures. He was there with me as we were getting ready for the day. My flower girl feeding him crackers.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not, Jamie, but okay.
And there I am on my wedding day. And there I am with Main Mammy. There's Adjacent looking all handsome in his suit. And there is our lovely Rexer man saying hi to Adjacent. He just looked him up, I think. And so Rexer said hi to Adjacent, and then Rexer came and walked me down the aisle. He was a good boy. Miss him. And then we said our I do's. Now, this one I wanted to share with you because one thing that we do on our wedding day, like our anniversary or around our anniversary,
Thanks, Klingon.
is we, on our wedding day, we took a rock and we made a wish on it and we threw it into the ocean. Sometimes we are not near an ocean, so we just
chuck a rock.
we chuck a rock into some water. This is at Bug Light, and it is in. That's not a leisure suit. This is in Bug Light, and that is in South Portland. It's overlooking Portland. But yeah, so anytime if you want to celebrate with us in any way around July 12th, and you are near a body of water of any kind, grab a rock, make a wish on it, and toss it into said body of water.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we will be doing.
Yes, we will.
I think I know where it is. There is Adjacent and I and Rexerman next to the lighthouse. Don't chuck a rock at yourself, Klingon.
That may be technically correct, but yeah, that's not what we're suggesting.
Here's the lighthouse at our wedding venue. So this is the QE2.
Mm-hmm.
This is the QE2.
Queen Elizabeth too. Yep.
In
The full
Port.
name.
Yep. It was in Port, in Portland, the day we got married.
Just happened
It
to
was
be. We didn't plan the wedding around it.
Huge.
It was huge. We took a friend of ours had a boat.
Wait, we'll get there.
All right, never mind. I didn't see everything you picked out. There we go. All
Yeah.
right, getting ahead of ourselves.
So we actually went and took a boat out over to our reception venue. And go ahead.
And on the boat ride to our reception venue, we were up close and personal to that biggest ship, I think, that comes
least
into port in Portland. And we were really close. Do we have pictures of it?
No, we
No.
don't. We didn't have pictures of it. No.
Yeah, but it's really crazy when you're that close to a cruise ship like that in a small boat at sea level. You look up and it feels like you're looking up at a skyscraper.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't dangerously close. What, like a couple 100 feet away from it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous though. Yeah. How big the ship felt because we were in like a little boat.
Yep. But it was a cool experience, and it was a nice way to travel from our wedding venue to our reception venue right on the water.
Yep. And here we are going to our reception venue. I didn't fall off the dock, which is a feat because it was a little tipsy.
Yep.
Luckily, I wasn't tipsy. We definitely needed a bigger boat. The sunset was gorgeous in there. I love the lighting in this one. Some loves. So Adjacent, while we were trying to cut this, I told him that I really liked my dress and please don't get any cake on it. And so he was really sweet, but I got him with cake.
Yeah.
So then he got me with cake.
Bamboozled.
So, yep, he got his revenge. Then we did some dancing. We're almost there, I think, to the end of this. Gotta figure out where we are. Then we changed because we were gonna get ready to head out on our honeymoon. We ended up going to Disney, and I don't know if you've ever seen the Super Bowl from old, where they said, "Where are you going?" We said, "Oh, we're going to Disney," just like they do in our wedding video. And I really wanted to wear the Mickey ears, the mini ears, on our honeymoon, and so Jason, being the good sport that he is, agreed. That is not a very breathable material
Oh no.
on that hat.
No. It's black.
It's black.
Not breathable.
So
Florida.
in July.
In July.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a
was
thing. It's a thing.
Then between then, so I only put these two pictures in here, so it didn't look like we just went from our honeymoon into the fact that we had kids. Look, we went to the Super
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. No, we went to Fenway for my birthday one time, and it was that cold in September that I wore a big hat. And we also had Lucky come live with us. He was just a little puppy. Literally those two were there, so I didn't put this one right after because I didn't want it to look like honeymoon and then directly into babies. Because I don't know, I just thought it looked funny. And so then we had our first little pumpkin. She is so cute. And then second little one, pregnant with her. And then first pinky promise between the little girls. And this about explains our youngest one pretty good. Yep, just kind of making lots of noise in the middle of trying to do a family picture. That's about right.
Absolutely.
And then we went back to Disney when the kids were a little older. This was about 2018, and we went for Halloween. I love Halloween. Really wanted to go, and we were dressed up as characters from Zootopia. And we went to the actual Halloween party, and we walked down the thing, and Jason was dressed up as the fox from Zootopia, and some old lady says to me, she goes, "Psst, your husband's a fox." Oh, I love her. She's my favorite. And then this was before the pandemic. We all dressed up as characters from Star Wars. And then this was during the pandemic. We did a Halloween via Zoom with Maine Mammy and Beeps, where we just said you had to dress up as a villain. And we all ran around the house, and we had like 5 minutes to find something. So this was our villain costumes. And this was Maine Mammy and Beeps villain costumes. And then these are just to show you, I did actually do a beer podcast where I talked into a microphone. There's that one and that one. Live reporting.
Proof.
And then this
Staged.
is us.
There we are.
Yep. That's the end. That's right before we went into the pandemic mode.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think people asked for that.
Yeah. This is a boozy milkshake.
It is.
I love boozy milkshakes. Yum, yum.
That is, yeah. It's one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we should make boozy milkshakes.
It's a rare treat.
I make some pretty good boozy milkshakes.
You do. We like getting them out, but you also make pretty good ones
Some really
yourself.
good ones, yeah.
Yep.
And
So yeah, hope you all enjoyed that little bonus there. I love it.
Ta-da! That's the end of that.
Thanks, Kat.
I would never share my milkshake.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's a fair thing.
Normally I make a big batch, and that way I
One
don't
for
have
you,
to
one for
either.
me.
Yeah.
Make more than you could ever drink yourself, so you don't have to worry. It's a good move.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I hope that you all had a wonderful. Jeez. I hope you had a wonderful time hanging out with us today. We sure had a wonderful time hanging out with you. Let's quickly do. Let's quickly do this page. And big thank you to Scott Watson Music. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. And that place that we were at, Happy Sign, is actually called the Burger Bar. They had really good burgers and boozy milkshakes. And then we had a really bad experience there where like all the food came out cold and
And burnt, which is
and burnt, and then they
quite
ended
a
up shutting down.
task.
So
Made sense.
it made sense.
They went downhill.
So wonderful with Scott Watson Music. It was great having him on. And a big thank you to Kev from the Bunker for all of the music you've heard throughout. I didn't mention this when we brought Scott on, but I must say that I really enjoy how we can see our guests before you all can. And so normally when the 5-minute music is playing in the beginning, a very large number are actually playing along with Kev's music. It's a lot of fun. We can't hear it,
No.
but it's a lot of fun to see that.
Oh, that was a good sandwich. Yeah, and just on that note, Scott had mentioned that he made a push for YouTube and got, I guess, what they call partner, or what he's calling partner, 1,000 subscribers. And Kev is also pushing for that. I think he's getting really close. He's around 800 or so. So if you could go, I think it's in that link too. If you haven't followed Kev's YouTube, go give him a click there too. I appreciate that.
Thank you to the Streamscribe for the lettering that you find on our photo album at the beginning.
Nice happy sign. Yes, thank you for the Streamscribe who was here
Yeah, he was here
earlier
for a little bit,
as well. It's good to see him.
and then
And I believe he has a collaboration with Natalie Hamilton.
yeah, coming up.
Music coming up in the next week or so. Or I think it's the 20th, actually.
I think Melvin needs a sub to you.
Oh, Melvin.
Melvin, we gotta go sub him. Big thanks to our mods, lovely mods. Even Sir Crossum, even though he drinks tomato juice, he's still lovely and wonderful. Thank you for all the hard work that you do. We really appreciate it. Then also, let's see if these credits want to work. Sometimes they take a minute, but they normally kick on at some point. Is it gonna happen? There they are. Thank you to all the new subscribers and the gift subs and the resubs. Truly appreciate that. Thank you for the follows. I didn't get to say that earlier. We are getting very close to 800. And when we do get to 1,000 followers, Jason is going to beatbox.
That has been promised.
I like to just mention just that piece of it in hopes that every other piece will get forgotten.
Oh, I wouldn't forget.
Ooh.
Arco.
Hello, Arco. Yeah, I think that's it. Have you figured out where we are going?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Courtney Visser
Perfect.
is on, and we were just talking about her. Had a nice mod love for her, and
You made it just in time to raid over to Courtney Visser's, Arco.
Yep. Yeah, it's good to have you here, Kat. I hope you're doing well.
Good to see you again, Kat. Grain, thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that you were here. Don't forget, on the 14th, which is Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, we will have Meowly music. And then the following Thursday, we will have Hillsinger.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably going to try to convince me to buy an island.
Oh, I'm sure. Probably half your chat will be about buying an island.
Yeah. And me refusing.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely not.
It's kind of a Stonewall situation.
It is. It's not going to happen. So let me just bloop us over to the raid. All right.
All right.
Thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Come for the ovens, stay for the microwaves.
Ooh, that's a really good. Did you come with or somebody else did? That looks like you did. I don't see it anywhere else.
No, that was all me.
Wow, I'm really, really proud of you, husband.
Thank you.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
Doesn't matter. I think the size of your audio canvas.
Somebody's clipping this.
I'm trying to think about how else to say this right now because I don't want to say that again.
I'm not even gonna help.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm just gonna let you just kind of flip around there. And...
Flounder around. just
Come on,
like
Kenny, make a joke quick.
Yeah. I think that without a purple check mark, and even with that I can't believe I'm winning.
Don't get too confident.
I know.
Wait, how many questions do we have?